It's Christmas Eve and this Scope Queen has just finished drugging and robbing her latest victim. Her name is Gisela Castillo Jimenez, and along with another woman, they will go on to drug and rob two live streamers, stealing all of their belongings. Initially, when reported, everyone thought that this story was just a ploy by the live streamers to get attention. But in reality, it was a very real and serious set of events that had happened. As Gisela is finally confronted by a friend of one of the victims, this is the story of what happened and when Scopolamine queens get caught. And so welcome to this episode. And this is just a compilation of when Scopolamine queens, they get caught, their reactions, and so keep watching. Chris Travels and Captain G, two live kick streamers who had been visiting Medellin, Colombia. They will run into Gisela Jimenez, who is from Táchira, Venezuela, while filming and live streaming in Medellin, Colombia. Parque Lleras, one of the most well-known nightlife and social hubs in Medellin, located in the upscale district of El Poblado. Packed with clubs and bars, it's 24th December and Chris Travels will decide to spend a night live streaming from this location. He will also be joined by his friend Captain G and fellow live streamer to capture the atmosphere and ambient of the park right before Christmas. The park is relatively empty as people have gone back to their families for Christmas, but not Gisela Castillo. She's on a prowl in Parque Lleras on Christmas Eve, looking for her next unsuspecting victim.
Captain G and Chris Travels, two kick live stream bloggers who have been live streaming for 5 days straight in a row in Medellin, Colombia. So yeah, these guys have been here in Medellin, Colombia, Poblado for over the Christmas period.
Live streaming at 2 a.m. It's Christmas Eve. Captain G, in front of his live audience and chat group, will come across two girls.
Our boys here, our heroes in question, have met a couple of lovely Paisa ladies from Parque Lleras. I think we are actually out at the same time as them and saw them. And so we're talking like, I don't know what it was, 2 a.m. Anyway, it was late. And yeah, let's see what happens.
The guys will explain to the girls that they're live streaming and will ask them if they'll like to join the stream live back at the apartment for a real and authentic interaction that their live viewers had been requesting for. The two girls will oblige, and Captain G, Chris Travels, along with the girls, will make their way back to the apartment, unaware of the potential dangers.
This is exactly what happens. You bring two girls back to your apartment. You don't know who these girls are. You come to Colombia, you're thinking, yeah, it's all good, but these people, they have a plan for you.
The Obiland team had sent one of its reporters to the barrios to speak to a young woman who claims now to be an ex-Scopolamine queen. She was adamant that we mention her resignation from the life of drugging and robbing tourists, as she speaks to us, protecting her identity from behind this diabolical mask.
Nosotras empezamos en la calle, empezamos en el Parque Lleras, en el Poblado. En realidad lo hice porque necesitaba y también porque quería conseguir dinero rápido y fácil.
Meanwhile, back at the apartment, Chris Travels and Captain G are now back to live streaming.
Welcome to our castillo. Mira, sí ves. Y la multi, no se puede. Bueno, piloso no. Sí. Aquí podemos tomar, pasar rico, sí.
As the live stream from the apartment begins, they try to make the girls feel comfortable.
He's so nice, bro.
In return, one of the girls will offer to tidy up the apartment.
So this is how the girls, they gain your trust. They gain your trust by, as you can see over here in the clip, they're actually cleaning. They're cleaning.
Yeah, they gain your trust by being good girls.
Yeah, by being fake good girls.
Yeah, 100%.
Not knowing that they're going to go off and rob their laptops and all of this stuff and You know, anyway, so they're cleaning the apartment. So obviously Captain G and Chris Travels, they start feeling some kind of trust in this group of girls that they just met, because obviously only a good girl will clean your apartment. So
As one of the girls tidies up the apartment, Gisela is on the phone, speaking and texting, possibly an accomplice. She would pace back and forth, whispering something into her friend's ear, quite likely informing her about her malicious plan, all while being captured on the live stream. She will initiate dancing with Captain G. The so-called ex-Scope Queen will further elaborate on the tactics used.
Llegábamos a su casa, obviamente coger las 2 copas, servir el trago. Aprovechaba cuando a él le daban ganas de orinar, cogía la escopolamina y se las ingería en la bebida. Cuando él llegaba, agarraba su copa, me acercaba hacia él, le daba de tomar y ya.
She will also describe a last resort strategy of applying sedative to certain parts of her body with the intention of a victim making contact with it. Meanwhile, back at the apartment, the party continues.
see this part right here where she gives him a drink.
Oh, so they already started the...
Yeah, she's actually feeding them with drink.
Gisela begins to seduce Chris, slowly gaining his trust before physically guiding the spiked drink to his lips. Unaware of what he has just ingested, Gisela would repeat the same thing with Captain G. Moments after ingesting the drink, Captain G coughs and attempts to stand. Gisela steps in, blocking him in from leaving his chair, patting his back in a gesture that appears helpful, but it's clear that this was always part of her plan.
He's drinking. She's controlling the situation. They've absolutely lost control of the
I
situation.
didn't realize it happened this quickly. They were like, the girls were on it.
She's taken complete control of everything.
And so regardless of what she's doing now, she's just made them feel comfortable of her feeding the drinks.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were partying, hot girls pouring drinks down on me.
Exactly.
Gisela keeps the interaction going, watching closely as the drug begins to take hold, waiting patiently for the perfect opportunity.
I may not want to drug this person, but if he presents himself as a good victim, then I'm going to do it.
I think you're right, for sure. Which,
You know, it's like opportunists.
yes.
Because how I know they're opportunists, like the Scope Queens, which I catch or whatever, or set up, they will never be in Parker Years.
Yeah, and they never will be on a fucking live stream.
No, they would.
The day after he was drugged and robbed, we caught up with Captain G, who described what he was feeling as he was sitting in that chair.
There's a video clip when I'm dizzy on the sofa. She's on me, you are there with other girl. This is the moment when she, I think, understands I'm going down.
The fact that they just let people feed the drinks, like random girls they don't know feed drinks, that was like the main don't do it.
As Captain G looks directly into the live stream camera, it becomes clear that something is wrong. He is no longer fully in control.
This is the first time we've seen on a live stream, live as it's happening, where a group of girls have gone with some tourists or gringos, whatever you want to call them, and drugged them live, taken their stuff, and they're all...
And not giving a fuck that they know that they recorded that.
Exactly.
It's weird, right?
Exactly, and it just goes to show you the state of Colombia and you know, what's going on here.
And then at some point you see she walks to my camera and she turned off the my stream.
For additional insight, we asked the self-described ex-Scope Queen what she felt like when victims became unconscious.
La verdad, no sentía absolutamente nada. Es más, me aprovechaba de la situación. Cogía mi copa, de hecho me la servía, lo miraba 1 o 2 minutos, le miraba la carita, le tocaba la cabeza y decía tan inocente. De ahí miraba a ver qué tenía en su billetera. Lo primero que hacía era buscar su billetera y revisarse. Si tenía dinero, se lo sacaba. Buscaba por toda la casa porque obviamente ellos tienen dinero extra guardado en su casa. Les miraba, les abría el closet, entraba a su cocina, ¿sí? En los cajones le miraba, si tenía anillo, reloj, cadena, me les llevaba sus pertenencias. Después regresaba donde él, seguía dormido, me la acostaba a su lado, veía un ratico televisión, otra vez lo miraba, me reía y de ahí me iba.
Mission complete. With Captain G and Chris now unconscious, Gisela is seen leaving the apartment, carrying several items. Her friend is right behind her. It's almost 4:30 a.m. in the morning as they both disappear into the night. We spoke to our ex-Scope Queen, asking if she had any concerns that the drugs she administered could potentially kill victims.
Normal, no me importaría, no sentiría absolutamente nada, porque a veces los clientes ya vienen con sus enfermedades anteriores. Entonces, no creo que por la escopolamina simplemente como que se la adelantaría. Igual, no me importaría porque yo en ese momento estuve haciendo mi trabajo, lo complací hasta donde pude y ya, solo hice mi trabajo. No me importaría más nada.
A friend will write to the Airbnb manager explaining what had happened to the live streamers.
I've noticed that sometimes.
The next day, the Obiland team spoke with Chris, who detailed the items that had been stolen.
His laptop, my iPad, 2 cell phones, my wallet, my debit cards, my speaker.
Have they taken any cash from the accounts?
Yeah. No.
They didn't win.
I went cash out before and I had 1 million pesos. Yeah, it was gone.
With many items missing, the Obiland team advised the live streamers to go to the Fiscalia and make a police report.
Okay. As soon as we can go to the police and do the report, I'm gonna send you everything because I don't know what's going on here, but like in the weekends, you cannot do nothing like that. We went to the National Police. National Police said go to Fiscalia. Fiscalia, they said that only the weekends you cannot do this report, only heavy stuff, Monday only. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Otherwise, Monday. Thank you very much, brother.
Chris will finally be able to make the police report, enabling the Obiland team to investigate the matter with a stronger mandate. Captain G and Chris will further provide Obiland team with other evidence, completely dispelling the idea that the incident was staged for views. Gisela's number was found on another device and a conversation followed.
Listen, bro, that girl just texted Chris and she's ready to negotiate for $500 and give all the stuff back. I don't know, what do you think? It's a trap, it's a thing. If you guys can set up this and meet her or somehow, we send you $500 and you can keep our stuff and we fly back to Medellin to pick it up.
Gisela and her friend, it appeared, were trying to buy more time, possibly trying to hack into his phone and other devices. However, negotiations to recover their belongings quickly fell apart, sounding like an attempt to extract more money.
That's the number of the girl who robbed us. So maybe try to set her up, make her set up. That's the number and she's still active on that. Because Chris tried to negotiate with her and offer her like $500 to give us all stuff back. So yeah, maybe you can set up with her.
To investigate, the Obiland team was provided with the phone's known last location.
This is the last location as well, where was the stuff hiding, because on the airport was still showing this location. We're not sure if it's still there or not, but at least you have the location where it was hiding.
The phone was tracked down to El Centro in Medellin, and the Obiland team will make their way down there in an attempt to find Gisela.
Never been done before. Shit, what do I need to do right?
Straight.
Shit, just so many haters, man.
Gisela was nowhere to be found. Captain G would then forward her number to the team in an attempt to set her up.
Hey bro, that's the number of the girl who robs us. So maybe try to set her up, make her set up. That's the number and she's still active on that.
The Obiland team would then contact the number, texting, hoping that it was Gisela, but a different girl would turn up on the day of the encounter. And so nothing could be done and she was let go. Gisela was once again one step ahead. However, almost a month later, possibly believing that the attention had died down, Gisela was spotted on Calle 10 in El Poblado, back to her old tricks. Acting on impulse, a friend of Captain G and Chris, who had been present the night they had met Gisela, quickly decided to confront her. Realizing she had been recognized, Gisela quickly attempted to flee the area, and this is what happened next.
Yep. We just found the girl that tried to drug you right here, and she's trying to get away. We gonna get the cops involved. They're here. Nah, no está loco, yo hablo con policía, él sabe. Él sabe, yo tengo video contigo. Yo tengo tu cara y todo. Tu cara y todo, yo sé. ¿Dónde es policía? Policía, ¿dónde es policía? Yo hablo policía porque ella robar mi amigo, sí. Ella robar mi amigo, sí. Sí. Nada, no importa, yo tengo tiempo ahora. Yo tengo tiempo. Ah, está bien. Yo tengo video, yo grabar contigo. Yo grabar contigo. Está bien. Porque yo conozco.
No me interesa.
Porque yo conozco.
No te he quitado nada a ti.
Porque yo conozco.
No, morro, no me grabes.
No, tú grabas a mi amigo, está bien.
Chris and Captain G's friend refused to let up, following Gisela as she attempted to flee. The pursuit caused a scene and soon attracted the attention of the police. Throughout the encounter, Gisela denied knowing the live streamers, the incident, or the friend confronting her, but moments later, she will be in police custody.
Yeah, yes sir. Let's get it, right? It's in jail, you're fuck out of here. We don't play them games.
Gisela was taken into police custody and driven from Calle 10 to the local police station, where she was issued a citation. By that time, Chris and Captain G had already left Colombia, meaning they were unable to press charges or recover any of their stolen belongings. The Obilan team continued to investigate Gisela's movements, but it soon appeared she had vanished from Medellin and returned to Bogota, widely believed to be her main stomping ground. And after that, there was silence. She was nowhere to be found on dating apps. She had completely vanished. Perhaps she had turned over a new leaf and now was living a different life. There were no further reports about her, and it appeared that she had now moved on to greater things with her life. However, almost 18 months later, Gisela appeared to be back to her old ways. She was spotted in Cartagena's walled city, speaking with tourists, with a male handler seen in the background. 100% they were affiliated, and definitely part of a criminal group. The following day, the Obilan team received a complaint that a man had been drugged in Cartagena. Whether Gisela was involved remains unknown.
But you just got to be really, really aware and have your senses and your wits about you when you come here to Medellin, Colombia. Not just Medellin, Colombia, but in Colombia in general, Cartagena anyway. Colombians themselves don't trust other Colombians.
And all this shit that's happening is in the safest area.
Exactly. So you can imagine what happens in the unsafe areas.
Que sean muy atentos, inteligentes, más que todo que manejen su inteligencia. De que no dejen sus pertenencias solas cuando se lleven una chica que ni siquiera conocen, que estén al pendiente, al tanto de todas sus cosas.
Don't get caught slipping, don't trust strangers, doesn't matter. Treat every girl the fucking same and don't trust anyone.
Parque Lleras, the focal point of nightlife for many international visitors, with hundreds of foreigners in the area on any given day. To understand what's happening, we spoke to a foreign resident and business owner who has lived in Medellin for over 10 years about crime in Colombia and the growing number of druggings and robberies.
Talking about this thing about Scopolamine and stuff, and she said oh yeah, they deserve it. Like, no, they don't. It's like, yeah, maybe there is some kind of sex tourism going on, but it's like every guy and every girl, normal person, goes on an app, on a dating app. It's not necessarily looking for sex.
To demonstrate the risk, the Obilan team set up an apartment bait to show how easily someone can be drugged when the wrong individuals are presented with an opportunity. Secret cameras are set up and events are monitored from a different location. To further entice potential perpetrators, certain items are deliberately left on display in the apartment.
To plan all of this stuff.
A drink to get the party going.
Any chick who comes to my place, she's gonna see the laptop.
A laptop worth thousands of dollars. Cash left on the table.
But I've got a camera.
A secret camera to record
I'm gonna put
events.
this right here. Also.
And a bag full of electronic items.
Right. Yeah.
Within minutes of arriving at Parque Geras, our guy was approached by two women. After a short conversation, they proposed going back to the apartment.
There's a girl from the hood. She goes out to Parque Geras. Let's go straight up to Parque Geras because that's where it's going on. And they're looking for, like, the girls go, they look for an American guy who can pay her some cash. And then they see the money. These girls are seeing the money there. They see $100 bill. They know that's like 400 and a little. And so they go back to the barrio with a bunch of money because they made it in the weekend. So they go out and tell all their little friends, yo, you know what? I'm making this money and there's a lot of money over there. All these American guys have money, all these gringos, because that's how they call them here. So they're just straight up gonna say that. And once they go to the hood, all these kids, they want a piece of that. All this crime scene begins there. Because how do these kids know that you have money? Because of the girls.
Under the watchful eyes of hidden cameras, the two women enter the apartment. Our guy welcomes them into the apartment and offers them drinks. As the night begins, they casually look around the apartment. Everything appears normal. Music plays as the atmosphere turns into a small party. Then our guy makes an excuse to step outside. He says he needs to make a phone call, that he'll be gone for the next 15 minutes. What will the women do now that they're left alone in the apartment?
There must be somebody working behind them, like somebody making it, like fixing it all up. Like, okay, give me all the information and we'll work from there. Because I don't think these girls, they don't know that much about like economics or financial stuff in the U.S. That's the stuff that we use. The same thing happens with cryptos and all that. And they're actually stealing everything.
Left alone, the two women appear to be having a good time as they start dancing. Everything seems normal until one of them shuts the door and begins to look around the apartment. She will check the closet, barely missing our secret cameras. She will also notice the money left on the table. They both go through a bag filled with electronics, cell phones and other items, as one of them keeps a lookout. Again, they look through the closet to ensure that nothing has been missed. And having been presented this opportunity, it appears that our guy has passed the test as a good victim to be drugged and robbed. Minutes later, with her back to the camera, one of the girls will pull a substance from her bag and pour it into one of the cups. We believe that this drink will be intended for our guy. She then shakes the glass to ensure that whatever she put in is well mixed. Again, her attention is on the drink, which she continues to shake. They have made their final preparations as they await for our guy to return back to the apartment. They quickly try to overwhelm him and offer him the spiked drink. But our guy has been notified that his drink has been spiked, and so he has other plans and confronts the two women about it. The girls deny that the drink has been spiked, but our guy suggests they drink from the spiked cup. They pretend to drink, pressing their lips to the cups without actually taking a sip. Satisfied that the women had avoided drinking from the cup, and with the video evidence secured, our guy made an excuse to end the night and will politely ask the girls to leave. The police will come to the premises and break up the incident. The Obiland team will provide them with evidence and they will take notes.
So whose fault is it? At the end of the day, it's like I'm nobody to say whose fault it is. I'm just saying and putting out there what the information, like how I think about it. I cannot say it's your fault or your fault. I think it's part of a total thing of society that happens.
Las Palmas, an exclusive area of El Poblado, also known for its panoramic views of the city. And this is where the story begins, with Natalia Vargas and Javier Vasquez Chacon visiting Medellin with his family. He will meet Natalia via a dating app.
Well, first of all, I'm just gonna say, like, women in Colombia are not easy to get. Like, a good woman in Colombia is not easy to get. So if you're a guy here in Colombia and you actually make a Colombian girl fall in love with you, you're a fucking winner. Because they're hard to get, they're hard to catch, a good woman.
Meeting through a dating app, and without hesitation, Natalia agreed to meet him at a restaurant with a friend in Las Palmas. During the date, Javier's mother checked in to make sure everything was okay. He replied that it was, but little did he know, it wouldn't stay that way. As the night continued, Natalia would drug Javier at the restaurant and along with her accomplices, would drive him to a hotel in another part of the city. It's around 4 a.m. and they have just left the Chula restaurant. Javier has already been drugged, but to passers-by he lightly appears drunk as they drive him towards a hotel near Centro. They enter the hotel where Natalia tells staff that her friend is drunk and needs a place to sleep it off. Inside the hotel room, Javier was robbed of his phone, bank cards and other financial information. According to the autopsy report, a struggle occurred in the room which ultimately led to Javier's death. After learning of his death, Javier's family became relentless in their pursuit of justice, while police in Medellin moved swiftly to investigate. They already had their primary suspect, and her name was Natalia Vargas Salcedo. And about a month and a half later, in the early hours of the morning, she was arrested. She was sentenced to 33 years and 4 months in prison. She will be nearly 65 years old when she is released. Next is a viral story investigated by the Obiland team. It centers on Fritz, who was drugged and robbed by a woman called Maria after meeting her on a dating app. After returning to Colombia, he reflects on the events.
Had to fly back to the U.S. While I was there, waiting for my, after I got my new phone and everything, while I was waiting for my return flight, I was like really wanting to get more information on this drugging thing. And so I Googled, I was on YouTube sitting in my living room, and lo and behold, who pops up? First one.
Who pops up?
So I watched the episode on a girl, I think her name was Lena or something like that, went back to Colombia, and tried to just forget about it all. But I always hoped and wished I'd one day run into the girl that did this to me. And I knew she couldn't hide forever. It wasn't like I was looking for her, but I was always keeping my eyes open. And just happened to be by myself. My buddy was in a club dancing with some girl. I decided to cool off and walk around. And there she is, walking hand in hand with another guy from the U.S.
In Provenza, Fritz will come face to face with the woman who drugged and robbed him.
She locked eyes with me, and I could just tell by her facial expression, she was like, oh my God.
Having been caught red-handed, Maria would attempt to run away from Fritz and flee the area.
She Scopolamine me a month ago. Stole everything. My money. Right? Me catching her just coincided with the filming of another episode from Obiland, and we talked, and like this hit me hard, man. I felt violated. It's hard to feel like, it's hard as a man. It's hard for a man to feel like he's been violated, like not really raped or whatever, but.
She stole everything from me, and she Scopolamine me. I woke up 2 days later. I woke up 2 days later. I already talked to a detective. Sí, rabo. Muy mala. So 1 month ago.
Un mes atrás. Un mes atrás.
What she do to you?
Okay, 1 month ago, I met her on Bumble.
Yo la encontré en una aplicación de
Bumble. And then I took her back to my apartment, and she Scopolamine me in a drink. She stole my computer, my phone, todos moneda, or a dinero. And then I woke up 20 hours later, and I'm lucky to be alive.
Without sufficient evidence at the time, Maria was allowed to go free, but the case would later trigger a joint investigation by the Obiland team and the police, ultimately leading to her arrest.
María Alejandra Salgado Ortega, identificada con cédula de ciudadanía 1 6 5 6 1. Te voy a notificar una orden de captura que tienes. La orden de captura 005. Escúchame primero.
Esté pendiente, María Alejandra. Háblese y escuche.
¿Por qué tienes esa orden de captura? Por unos delitos. Concierto para delinquir. Hurto calificado agravado. Hurto calificado menor cuantía. Listo. Esta orden fue proferida por el juzgado 16 penal de control de garantía de Medellín. Listo. Te voy a leer unos derechos. Si no entiendes los derechos, me dices para yo explicártelo. Listo. El hecho que se le atribuye el motivo de su captura y el funcionario que lo ordenó. Derecho a indicar a la persona a quien se le deba comunicar su aprehensión. Derecho a guardar silencio.
Maria is under arrest and is now being read her rights.
a declarar en contra de su cónyuge, compañero permanente o pariente dentro del cuarto grado de consanguinidad, o civil o segundo de afinidad. Derecho que tiene a designar y entrevistarse con un abogado de confianza en el menor tiempo posible. De no poder hacerlo, el Sistema Nacional de Defensoría Pública proveerá su defensa. Entendidos tus 4 derechos, listo. En esos momentos los vas a acompañar para la civil a hacer todos los actos urgentes, listo. Te tenemos que llevar para presentarte a la fiscalía.
No me lleve.
Aparece, por favor.
No me lleve, que me van a dejar allá. No me lleve, me van a dejar allá, amigo. Sí, me van a dejar allá. No me lleve. Me van a dejar allá, amigo. Sí.
Tengo que presentarlo, nosotros no sabemos. Necesitamos que. Listo. Un buzo. Un buzo. ¿Tienes un buzo por ahí? Un saco.
Jefe, Grupo Contraatracos de la SIGIN.
Maria, along with her accomplices, are facing at least 5 years in jail. She was arrested with 4 other accomplices, whom the media call the Las Barbies. And coming soon, the story of a scopolamine queen who drank her own scopolamine in an attempt to avoid prison when confronted by the Obilan team. If you'd like to see what happens next, keep watching this channel.